Welcome back to Starfish Design. Today I'm going to be showing you how I glaze this flower bowl. I'm using Spectrum glazes for this project. It's a full step-by-step tutorial, so I hope you enjoy following along and learning my techniques for achieving a similar look with your glazing. So let's get started. What I'll show you today is just how I prepare these before I glaze them, how I plan my glazing, and also the types of glazes that I'll be using. So first off, what we're going to be doing is wiping clean this bisque-fired bowl, and I'll be taking my sponge, and what you want to be doing is giving that a good wipe out, making sure that there's no loose dust or little pieces of clay that could peel off and ruin your glaze finish. And it can be really disappointing when you think that you've done a really good glazing job and then you end up with tiny little parts where the glaze hasn't fired to the clay. Just taking all the dust off here. Alright, so I think we have a good finish on there. Using some of my test tiles, I can see I've written on the back of them. I've got a rough idea of how the colours are going to turn out in the firing, and I'll be adding in my new glazes, which I've never tried, which is the lime green and the butter yellow. So these are my highlight colours, and hopefully they're going to turn out pretty cool. These are Spectrum floating glazes, which I really love, and what I will be doing is I will be coating the inside with pearl white, one coat, and the outside with pearl white. So now that we've done our design, we're ready to go. We've got a plan for how this is going to be turning out. Hopefully the firing gods will make this look amazing. So let's start glazing. The first glaze I'm starting with is Pearl White by Spectrum. And we're going to give this a good stir. It's very important that you stir all of your glazes. Mix it right up from the bottom and give them a good stir before applying them. Otherwise your glazes might not fire consistently. So we're mixing that. Glazing brush, but sometimes I actually use makeup brushes, and these are actually beautiful for spreading some glazes on. They're very, very soft. You can buy a whole packet of them really inexpensively, and I recommend these also, especially when you're doing big glazing projects. So I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom, so I'm just going to pick that up. I'm doing this backwards so that I can film it for you, but normally I would be painting from the front where I could see it. This doesn't need to be perfect because this is just a base layer that's going to hopefully create a nice drip form. Now I am taking Butter Yellow, another of Spectrum's beautiful glazes. I haven't used this glaze before, so let's hope it's a goodie. Again, I am going to give this a really good stir. blending that down. Just to give myself a nice shape on the bottom of my glaze. And the pencil line will burn off, and as I said, I sit my pots on a biscuit. That's just a way to give you a bit of a tidier finish underneath. You could wax it if you wanted to, and that is definitely something I'd recommend. Alright, so while we're just going to let that dry before we apply the next layer. Just going to flip that over, and I'm going to get my fuzzy peach. This is another spectrum colour, and I'm going to be putting this up to the top on the outside. It's my makeup brush this time, popping that in, and I'm just blending that down across the yellow. These makeup brushes are really, really nice. And what I want to do this time is we're going to go over the top of the fuzzy peach. So I'm really wanting these colours to merge into each other and kind of ombre. Another coat around that edge. And take my fuzzy peach, and I'm just going to hold this down, and I'm just going to blend some of that up into that yellow. Very gently. Just wisping it up. So what I want it to do is blend together, so we get quite a cool mix of colours, just like flowers. So I've kind of blended these colours together, and I'm going to let these dry now, and then so these glazes, the first coat and the second coat have dried, so what I'm going to be doing now is just applying a little bit of detail on some of these petal edges. This is the Spectrum Glaze called Kimchi. And my little soft makeup brush, which is probably a big no-no in the pottery world, but anyway, I find them really good for this sort of thing. And what I want to do is, with my little edges I've got here, is I'm just going to do just a little line, just a wee dab. Doesn't have to be much, just a little bit. I'm just going to follow that ridge, just a little bit on there. Any of the details, I'm just creating a little highlight. Ready to flip over and start on the top side, which is a heck of a lot easier to glaze. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is just the same. I'm going to be putting pearl white on the top 3/4, softer looking colour, and I'll just be doing one coat. So we're going to be putting the pearl white just to soften out those colours. And this doesn't need to be perfect. Now I'm going to pop my lemon yellow in here. I'm going to put that right down. So we're doing that fuzzy peach at the top, and we're just okay, so we're just going to go around and do another coat. So we've got the yellow, and then we're just going to do a very light and I'm doing this wet on wet because I want it these two colours softly blending together. I'm just pulling that up, taking away any joins. On the details. This colour now, which is called Papaya by Spectrum. It's a very bright orange, this one here. going to take this soft makeup brush again. Do a second coat. So this is all glazed and just going to dry.